about the fact that we may be effectively issued vaccine passports for going abroad. Jeffrey says he's going to go anyway at the beginning of July, even though a country is amber list. Gordon's going to stay at home. Aisha's going to be seething because she's had her second vaccine.
I'm going to Birmingham.
And she's going to Birmingham
That's where I'm going on my holidays.
Dr. Amir, firstly, just address the issue of second vaccines being cancelled. Are you hearing about that more broadly?
Yeah, morning, everyone. First of all, I won't be telling you what to do. I will do what I can to give you the right information, and it's up to you to do what you wish with that information. But I would say that in terms of vaccines being cancelled, it's very, very unusual. I think what's probably happened with Aisha is that we're focused very much on the under 40s, and that a lot of clinics are giving out the Pfizer vaccine, and we tend to do clinics where we just have one type of vaccine in there, and that's certainly what happens with ours. We have just the Pfizer vaccine when we're doing that age group, and I think unfortunately Aisha seems to have been caught in this kind of cross lines where we're doing Pfizer and AstraZeneca is being put on hold. So I'm very sorry about that, Aisha, but it's an unusual case, I must say.
And then what would you say to Jeffrey, who's going to go to an amber list country? I mean, Jeffrey, I presume you'll do all the quarantining and testing when you come back. Of course. But, of course, government advice is please don't go. What's your advice?
Yeah, the government advice is certainly please don't go. And we should only be going to amber countries if it's an absolute emergency. I said yesterday on the show that I don't think there should be an amber list. I think that makes things very confusing. And I think that's what's got us into this situation with the Delta variant as well, with people from India when India was on the amber list. We've got to be very mindful of this idea of people who have had both vaccines are able to go on holiday. I do think it creates a two-tiered system. I think, we've always said we're all in this pandemic together. And certainly in the early stages of the pandemic, when we were protecting our most vulnerable people, our older people, the younger generation had to make extreme sacrifices. And now the shoe's on the other foot. We should still all be on it in this pandemic together, and we should all still be working together. And at a time where we're talking about keeping borders, stricter control over borders to keep variants out, we shouldn't then be having debates around double vaccinated people going abroad on holiday while others can't. While we're not quite sure where the next variant will come from. I would recommend staycations here in the UK.
OK, so you're backing Gordon.
Yeah. Come to Birmingham, everyone.
Can't wait. Dr. Amir, thanks very much indeed.
Thank you.
He was like the voice of God there.
Yeah, he was.
appearing in the background.
Suits him perfectly.
I cannot let you go without discussing the release of the WhatsApp messages. Dominic Cummings finally providing the evidence of Boris Johnson and how he described Matt Hancock, which I can't broadcast at 6:53 in the morning.
Well, I'm bound to say that I had the privilege of serving two prime ministers, and I know that Aisha had the privilege of serving two prime ministers. Do you think we couldn't get headlines on this programme for the rest of the day, for the rest of the week, for the rest of the month, if we said everything we knew? In my case, what Margaret Thatcher said or John Major said. In Aisha's case, of what Gordon Brown said and what Tony Blair said.
Yes, but in the middle of a pandemic, if the Prime Minister is describing his health secretary in terms like that, it does rather suggest he lost confidence in the person who was supposed to be.
You think you two haven't had a row on this programme occasionally, which we wouldn't all like to know about?
I think you're confusing me with a former presenter.
There you are. There you are. Yeah. Accuracy is a very important thing in television.
But the point that Susanna's making, look, if he thinks that one of his leading men or women is completely, utterly useless, that person happens to be in charge of all of our health in the middle of a pandemic, why is he still in a job?
Well, I'm bound to say you clearly haven't noticed that all the opinion polls are saying 60 to 70% do not agree with Mr. Cummings, and I disagree with you totally. I think Matt Hancock's done a damn good job.
OK, and Matt Hancock thinks the same thing, because he was asked yesterday, do you think that you're hopeless? We'll play what his answer was after we've had this break.